Donald Trump has said that he'd love to visit the UK and doesn't care about the prospect of mass protests. Speaking to ITV's Good Morning Britain show, the US president said a lot of British people like and respect what he stands for. Well, his comments come as Downing Street announced Mr. Trump would be making his first trip to the UK as US president on a working visit later this year. Well, I'm joined this evening by Weyman Bennett from the group Stand Up to Racism. Weyman, thanks for coming in.
Thanks very much for having me.
What do you make of the president's words?
Well, I think that the president is delusional. Millions of people, actually 1 in 10 people, have signed a petition to say they don't want him here. And I believe that his comments after coming from the UN last week that described his comments as being racist, for his description of many countries as, forgive my language, as being toilet hole countries in terms of immigration, I don't believe he deserves to come here. And many of the language that he has used has been unacceptable. He tweeted out Britain First, a fascist, racist party, and then, didn't say anything too much later. I think we've got to be very, very clear. As long as the president is misogynist, anti-Muslim, and encourages Islamophobia, and encourages most of the disgusting kind of politics we've seen in Europe, I think we have to be very, very clear he's not welcome.
So what will you do if he does come later this year?
I think we'll join millions of people in protest, and also we'll also hold Theresa May, a vicar's daughter, who held hand with somebody I think was a misogynist, actually, in terms of his attitude to women. And I think that we should be very clear that if we promote these politics, I understand he's a billionaire, I understand he's rich and he's powerful, but I believe that democracy can only be protected by those people that hold it in the highest level of integrity, and he doesn't. He's somebody who disrespects different groups. He's racist, he's homophobic, he's a bigot. I think he's managed to insult nearly everybody. So there's a tiny minority of people who might like him, but the rest of us are going to come out in unity and oppose him.
Well, of course, the president would refute that he's any of the things you've just labelled. He did say today, or at least in an interview released today, that he has apologised for retweeting the group Britain First, or at least some sort of an apology he's willing to give. Do you welcome that retraction of sorts from the president?
He's a president of the United States. 2 months after he wants to have a visit to Britain, he's forced to accept that he tweeted out a group that denies the Holocaust the day before Holocaust Memorial Day. I think we should be very clear this is unacceptable, and I accept that what he wants to do is us to roll out the red carpet and give him a state visit. He's not deserving of a state visit, and the majority of people in this country don't think he should have a state visit, and it's an insult to us that he's been forced upon us. And certainly he may believe, I mean, it's possible that, this is a man that's dishonestly can't even talk about how much he weighs. I mean, this guy said that President Obama wasn't born in the United States and made up a whole series of lies. There's nothing honest about the President Trump at the moment, and I think we need to make a stand with all the other people that have been insulted and degraded and say that unless he apologises to all of them, and actually we don't really want him even if he doesn't apologise, that's an apology that cannot be accepted.
Donald Trump says he doesn't care about opinions like yours, he doesn't care what people like you think. What's the point in protesting with that in mind?
Well, the people he insults represent the majority of the world. Actually, we represent the majority of the world, and I'm sure he doesn't care about what the majority of the world thinks. But I think that unless you hold people like that to account, they become tyrants. This is a man that's just handed £525 billion to the richest people, while blaming Mexicans for the lack of medical care and the way that people are treated. He's put forward mass deportations. He describes Mexicans as rapists and criminals. And he has sweeping statements, and he really apologises. And I think what he's bringing down is damaging the body politic of democratic society. And actually, I think unless people turn around and defend it, what we will find is that we're degraded. And things like Charlottesville, where members of Heather Mills is murdered by neo-Nazis, and he refuses to condemn the people that murdered them. I think it's in their honour and the people that were killed in the Holocaust and the insults to the refugees that we must stand out and give voice to the voiceless.